the screen.
No one here.
Tim, can you hear us?
Yes.
Eleanor?
Yes, I can hear you.
John,
Yes, I can hear you.
okay, we're ready to roll. I don't need to see you because I can see,
It's right here.
I can hear it too, so I can see raised hands. Okay. We're gonna open the CPC after much technical difficulty. We're on little screens right now because the big screen's not working. For Tuesday, September 17th, we're starting the meeting at 10:18. Trailer A at 131 Pleasant Street. We're gonna check to make sure everybody can hear everybody. John,
Yes,
Eleanor,
Yes,
Tim,
Yes.
hope you guys feel better. Tim has COVID and Eleanor sniffles.
Thank you.
And Jesse's in the room. Joe. Neville,
yep,
myself, and staff. Glenna?
Yes.
Okay, and everybody can hear everybody on the tiny little screens. Okay, so we're called to order. Somebody wants to approve the agenda. There was an addition to the agenda, the August 23rd minutes, which we got, and those will be ratified at the next meeting, but they were not anticipated by me, so we're gonna go ahead and bless all three of them. Does anybody have any changes to the July 16th meeting? No. Eleanor, Tim,
no,
Neville, Jesse?
Nope.
Any changes to those?
No.
Okay,
Good.
somebody want a motion to approve the July 16th?
so
meeting?
move.
We did that already. Oh,
No, I think it's a motion. I'll
you want to make a motion?
make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, is there a second?
Second,
Neville seconded. All those in favor? Neville,
aye.
Jesse,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Eleanor?
aye,
And John.
Aye,
Yeah, that's weird, because I can shut my sound off. Okay, so then the approval of the minutes, somebody want a motion to approve July 16th
Motion to approve July 16th minutes
as submitted?
as submitted.
That's Joe. Is there a second?
second,
Neville seconded. All those in favor? Tim,
Aye.
Eleanor,
aye,
John,
aye.
Neville,
Aye.
Jesse,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and myself. Okay, any questions about August 20th? It has to be amended as to.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I don't know if it really matters, but on the email that came out with CPC minutes, the date is wrong. It actually says July 18th. I don't know if procedurally, if we approve minutes for the 16th, if it matters. I'm just pointing it out. I don't want us to be in trouble.
Will the minutes themselves say the 16th?
Yes, they do. But the agenda that came out says the 18th.
My agenda says the 16th.
The email, sorry, Linda.
Oh, don't worry about the email. That's not dispositive of when the date is.
Okay.
That was just information. All right, does anybody, the August 20th minutes are being amended and Glenn has already done that to say that I chaired the meeting or opened the meeting, let's put it that way. Anything else anybody wants to change on these? Eleanor, anything?
wait, I think, did you understand what Tim was saying? He's saying on the minutes for July 16th, under approval of minutes, it says June 18, 2024. That's where the typo is.
All right, because the actual minutes themselves say July 16th,
But that needs to be corrected. That's a typo. So let's just make sure it's corrected, please.
but the actual minutes in front of my face that I printed out say July 16th.
All right, what I'm
Thank
looking at says approval of minutes, June 18, 2024. Mr. Dixon made a motion to approve the minutes. That's what I'm trying to get corrected.
It's down lower, Linda, it's down lower. It's not at the heading. It's down lower under approval of minutes.
I got it.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about
The
the,
top of
in
it.
the email.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. So. Reopen that.
All right, we're gonna reopen those minutes. Somebody has a motion to reopen them.
Well, since I made the motion, I'll make a motion to reopen.
Okay, is there a second to reopen?
Second,
I think that's.
No, go ahead. I don't know. I was gonna ask for a final, what you guys talking about? What's the controversy?
Hold on a second, guys.
I make a motion to go ahead and do that.
At the meeting, we
On that-
approved
on
the
that
June
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Is there an issue here?
What's the date on that?
So. With meeting date
16th.
16th and then.
Okay.
No, that's correct, guys.
That's
At
fine.
at the July 16th meeting, we approved the June 18th minutes. And that's
what
what's in the minutes, guys.
that's what,
So don't get all wrapped up there.
that's what I was thinking.
That is correct.
Yeah,
So we're not making any motion here.
yeah, that's,
No.
All right, moving on.
thank you.
August 20th. Any other changes besides, I thought Tim was here. Yes, Tim was here. No, he wasn't. He was here in August. Okay, anybody want to make a motion to approve the August 20th with that amendment? All right, Jesse made that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, Eleanor,
Aye.
Tim,
can you hold 1 second? I think I was at that meeting. I'm just
you were,
checking.
you were actually traveling on the July one.
Okay,
You were actually
I'll
stable
abstain.
in an August one.
Okay, I'll abstain.
Okay. Tim abstained, John in favor?
Aye.
Neville?
I wasn't here. Abstain.
Okay. Jesse?
Aye, I was here, right?
Yeah. Joe?
Aye.
Okay, myself is aye. Okay, that's that one. And we have the August 23rd meeting. Any changes made there? Okay, hearing none. Does somebody want to make a motion for those?
Motion to approve August 23rd.
Second.
As approved.
And Neville seconded. All those in favor, Tim?
Aye,
Eleanor?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Neville?
Aye.
Jesse?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
And myself. Okay. Did that. Okay, correspondence. I cleared the Mariah Mitchell one. Because we did hardscape landscape with them and fixing the fence could be part of the hardscape and landscape, since the three of us deal with that all the time. And fences are part of the hardscape. So I said it was okay to go ahead and fix the fence out of their money that they have. Has everybody had a chance to look at that Mariah Mitchell letter?
Yes.
Does anybody have any issue about approving that?
No.
Okay,
I just want to just mention that I don't have any issue with it, but I think in the future it should be the whole committee making those decisions.
well, this was
That's
an,
it. I understand what you're saying.
but this was an in-office thing, and
Yeah.
Glenn and I discussed the fact that it was within the scope of what they already got approved. so
Yeah.
We didn't need to do it, because it wasn't a transfer of something that wasn't within what they got approved for, because we looked at the original approval. So that's why it was like, they needed to do it right then and there, so that's why it's back on the agenda for you guys to ratify it.
Okay, but I know that, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
'Cause, that's the reason
Normally,
why,
yeah.
that's the reason why we have those things.
So somebody want to make a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Eleanor made a motion, Joe seconded. All those in favor? Tim,
aye,
Eleanor,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Neville,
Okay,
Jesse,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
myself. That's great. And then we had another one. Did everybody get a chance to look at Sustainable's letter?
I will recuse from this.
Yes. Okay. It was a little more convoluted. Glenna, do you have an opinion on this?
I do not.
Well, it is Neville's project and I think he would probably be the best person to speak to it.
Now, would you get a chance to look at this in detail? It's kind of
Yeah, well, they had,
hard to follow.
they're talking about reappropriating, they had $41,000 left from fiscal year 23.
Yeah.
What happened with them, with they were planning on doing some expansion, which they cannot because their landlord,
Yeah.
the land bank had decided to do the expansion. But what they want to use it for is for a project that they were going to come to us for anyways, to improve the whole front of the property,
For the
putting on,
farm stand?
right, but the farm stand, putting up bike racks and sprinkler systems, etc. So basically what they want to use is, they want to use that money to do that. They probably will not spend it all, and whatever is left over, they're gonna bring it back. But they want a chance to use that money for that. So I told them to go ahead and write the letter. You know, I thought it fell within the scope. I think it does, of what they wanted to do.
I think it does fall, I agree with Neville, it does fall within the scope because we weren't allowed to do some things for them.
Yes.
There's certain things we're not allowed to do for sustainable. There are other things we are allowed, and these kinds of costs we are allowed to do for sustainable. So does anybody have any problem with this?
No, I don't, but I just have a couple of questions, mostly just to learn how this all works. And that's all. So the funding was for 2024,
Fiscal year
It's been-
23.
They've been on this for quite a while.
23.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that this money goes to 2024, or is that still part of 2023?
It's not a regular budget. So everything rolls over until they're done. So
Okay.
there's some that have been 10 years, like the cemeteries.
Yeah.
It just keeps going until they spend it.
Right,
Now, we have the policy, as Neville knows, that if you don't start something within 3 years, is it Neville?
Years.
2 years?
Mm.
Then we gotta go, oh, what's going on, guys? But if they dribble, they can keep going.
mhm,
So they had a request for 21, I think, 22 and 23. They have to pull the money for that particular project out of 21, not 23,
mhm.
which is why when you see these things, they have to put down what FY they're asking for the money from.
Mhm.
So they still have money from 19 here, they go all the way back. But that's what they had, this is what they've spent, that's what they have left, and this is what they're asking for. So we
Right,
keep track of it. But that particular ask for 21 was different than 23. So
Right.
if it falls within 23, then they gotta use it within 23, those funds. They can't go back and take the money out of 21 to do 23.
okay, got it. And then, so this request is a 24 request, but they used the 23 money.
Well, no, it's a 23 request. So they applied for it in the fall of 22,
The fence and the irrigation?
21.
You see, like they got funded in fiscal year 23
Mhm.
for a particular thing to do.
And they didn't need the money.
No, they
used
used some of it. They did the
Right.
project,
Yeah.
but they can only go so far. They had this money left over.
Right,
So rather than give it back to us, they want to know, can they reappropriate it
yeah,
to do the same thing on the same property? Does
Within
it
the
I
fall?
understand, yeah, I
It
understand
falls
all
within
that.
the scope
Of that 23.
of that
grant.
23 grand.
Not the
Right.
21 or 22, but
Right.
it falls within the scope of the 23 grant, and
Period.
that's where they're taking.
So there'll be more requests from them for 24.
They
likely.
didn't, they haven't come back for
Okay.
a while.
But they might.
They
because-
may, but
'cause
right
other-
now,
yeah.
because they're limited by the land bank, they can't go over to the other
Yeah.
side of the entrance road, which is where they head.
I would think Sustainable Nantucket is one of the best things out here, so I have no problem with that, and I apologize for, dragging
don't
things down and
apologize.
slowing things
No,
up.
it's a
but
good,
just-
you know why? It's a
No,
good question
Good
because
question.
we're gonna have a lot of projects like that.
Yeah.
Some of them,
Yeah.
if anybody agrees with me, like goes back quite a few years. This happened because I went to them as their rep to see, are you gonna use this money? If you're not gonna use it, can we get it back? If they have to get it back, then they have to write a letter to us. But they ask, can they use this and appropriate it and use it for another part of their project? So
But within the scope of the.
within the
original
scope of the original.
Application, because some of
Exactly.
these list quite a few things, but
Right.
not everything. But if it's agricultural related, if it's, sprinkler system related, if it's, improvements related, it falls within the scope of that particular
Yeah.
year.
Got it.
They were very specific on the other year as to what they were asking for.
If I could just, let Jesse know, we work with 3 years at one time, so it can be somewhat confusing. So right now, because you asked the question, will they come back in 24? Right now, we've accepted the applications for fiscal year 26, but we're in the calendar year of 24, but we just started fiscal year 25, July 1st. So we're working with 24, 25, and 26 right now.
Got it.
And then stuff that's hanging around that they still haven't completed their projects, which is the cemetery.
But
Okay.
if
A
you
few
have
others.
any other questions and you want more detail, you know,
Yeah.
you can reach out to me via email or just give me a call.
All right, I appreciate that. Thanks.
It's not easy when you're coming into this, trying to figure out FY 15, FY 25, FY 26. It's which pocket, it's which pile of money are they using right now? Like
So
St.
which fiscal year?
Yeah, St. Paul's had multiple years going with multiple projects, and they're back again this year, for FY 26. But that should be the end of what they asked for, because I think the bell this year, last year was pretty much the end of the Unitarian Church. So I think St. Paul's, Congo, and Unitarian, I think they're coming into the end of what they need to keep going. I don't think we're gonna see them very often in the future. Okay,
So we just need.
so
to vote.
somebody want to make a motion to
I've
approve?
I have my hand raised.
Are you allowed, you can't represent in front of your own board?
I just want to let you know that the land bank approved this.
Okay, don't say anything else. Somebody want to make a motion to approve this?
I make a motion to approve it.
Okay, Never made a
Second.
motion to approve, Joe seconded. All those in favor, Tim?
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Neville,
Aye.
Jesse,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and myself, and Eleanor is recused. Great job, guys. These guys will be very happy. Then we have fund requisitions. These are all Neville's because they're all interfaith. 36,975 for FY 24, 27,310 for FY 24, 24,572 for FY 24, 28,562 for FY 24. Glenna, we're sure we're working off of 2 years ago money? They haven't used any.
This is all.
Oh,
from-
this is coming into the end of June.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Any questions on interfaith? This is for the rental assistance.
And then South Church Preservation.
We'll get, yeah. And then the South Church Preservation, Congo's usually me, but we'll figure that out eventually. 27,500 for FY 25. So they are actually in for the money we just got used as of
Excuse me.
July 1, and all the contracts are signed.
Not
Most of
everybody,
them. This one's signed.
majority,
That
this
one's
one is
signed.
signed.
Okay, because stay there for a second. Brian won't pay anything unless they've already signed the contract, so we're still waiting for people to sign some of the contract out of the 15, 18 that we have. So they are gonna have to sign their
Fiscal year
contracts.
25, I just.
And the contracts have been ratified by Brian, and so we're all set to go. They just gotta get their act together if they want their money. Because he said no more money, unlike last year or the year before, unless the contracts are signed. So we're rolling into that now. And as you can tell, St. Mary's is up and running everywhere.
Yep.
And what a beautiful job.
They haven't signed their contracts,
They need to sign their contract.
but they also have not submitted
They
any
haven't come
project
in yet.
status report, so.
But they're already like $200,000 or $300,000 into their draw, so they need to get a grip. Okay, and somebody want to make a motion to approve those unless there's any questions?
Just want to make one,
I was gonna say.
did they?
Yep.
Did they make that correction that I asked? Did she make that correction on the requests?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
So these are correct.
So Neville, you're happy with it?
yep.
Okay. All
So I make a motion to approve
A through E, is there a second?
A through E.
Second.
Joe seconded, all those in favor, Tim,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Eleanor,
Aye.
Neville,
Aye.
Jesse,
Aye.
Joe,
Right.
myself, thank you, everybody. Old business, new business. And everybody, you got an email about your spreadsheet, but Glenna, Tim, I usually pick yours up.
Okay,
I'll pick yours up. Are you here or out west?
here.
Okay, I'll get yours.
Okay.
Did you get hit?
Right there.
I can get yours, that's fine. I'll get Joe's, I'll get Tim's. Eleanor, do you need me to get yours?
No, I can do it. Thank you.
Jesse, you know where the office is? No,
No.
okay. You know where you get the Thai food
Mm-hmm.
and where,
There's a barber shop in that complex, Candlewick Corner,
you know, the second shop.
Yeah, I know where it
that's
is,
out
yeah.
there, all the way at the end, at the last one on the left.
Left.
across from Highland
Yeah.
Church.
Okay.
So go get yours. Eleanor, you know where it is. Steve's, I can pick up Steve's, just give it to him at the office. John, are you back here at some point?
Yeah, later this week.
Okay, you know where the office is?
Yeah, my office is 5B Hannaby, so I know where that is.
There you go. So go get yours. I'll get Tom's. And Neville, you have an in on the office.
Mhm.
Your wife is there. Okay, I will get Joe's, Tim's, Steve's, and Tom's. And I already have my own. Okay, so when you got it online, we have,
There's 13.
wow, historic preservation. I thought they would slow down after last year. We have 9 historic preservation. We have the monster ask, which we'll have to discuss under affordable housing, and we have open space recreational. And we have, no matter what happens, we have to give 10% of our total, and they're working, Rob's working on the total now. And along with Brian, trying to give us a ballpark total and which, if any of the bonds we have to pay this year. He was pretty sure we would have to pay one of the bonds, one of the 375s, but not the other bond. So we'll figure out what has to come off the top, and then we have to take, what, Glenn, a 5% for office?
Yeah.
So we have 5% off the top, we have the bonds off the top. And the 10% for each. So it looks like we have a lot of historic preservation again. St. Paul's is continuing, My Comet Village is continuing. Ryan Mitchell is a continuing. The Landmark House comes back every couple of years, so they're continuing. New sort of is remain because we gave them money to do the review of that building. Island School of Design hasn't been back. They're back this year. They haven't been back last year. That's a continuing thing. The Quaker Meeting House has been in, but it's the ones you see for Quaker Meeting House, related pretty much solely to the museum as opposed to the Quaker Meeting House part. They're back for actually the Quaker Meeting House part. So the only thing I had a question of, Glenn, is that you have 2 FY25 here for the Fair Street.
For who?
Fair Street Museum and Nantucket Historical Association. I think one may be 23 and one 24.
Which page are you on?
It's number 7.
Okay.
You
Oh,
have 2 25s. I think one is maybe
Well-
23 and 24.
no, well, what happened, oh, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think, that, they came in with 2.
Oh, they're only, they only says 1 here.
Yeah, they came in with 2, so that's why it's, 240,949. They received for the first, and then the 948,751.
It's under both, Linda. It's under 7 and 8, so I think she consolidated.
It's, well, because it's 2 separate projects,
Because of
but it's
two
still
different
both
sites.
for Nantucket Historical
All right,
Association.
that's where I'm confused.
So I just wanted to make sure that everyone could see that the same, grants
Organization.
that were
Okay.
approved for
Mhm.
7 Fair Street were also approved for Greater Light, but they're both under the umbrella of Nantucket.
They are, but we've got to
Historical
separate
Association.
them for legal purposes. Which one goes with the 7 Fair Street, the 240 or the 938?
But this is just the history for NHA, to show.
Oh, I'm
what
in,
grants
I'm
they
in
received.
25. I keep saying I'm
Yeah.
in 25 now.
That's,
All right,
this is just the history of what they've received as
Perfect.
NHA.
perfect. Okay, Greater Light, we have not seen Greater Light for a while. This is for the ironworks. Fair Street, I believe it's for the roof, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have the Civil War Veterans Preservation stuff. Now, we have done a lot of work with the town clerk over the years. We, Catherine Stover started that. And what they've done is that they have Browns River, they send a lot of their records down to Browns River, and they're wading through them. one section at a time, and we paid for the shelving to, put them in the safe and stuff like that to protect them. So this is the first time they've been back, I believe, since Catherine died.
Yeah.
Affordable housing, we have the usual Nantucket rental assistance. And we have the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. Then we get to open space, we have, Lighthouse School. Glenn had extensive conversations with them and explained to them that it has to be public has to access it. And it could be the area people, but that, we have to wait and see what they have to say about that, because anything we do has to have some sort of in the public domain. As opposed to, this is my private place, the public can't come in here. Racket Club is back again. They're stockpiling it to be able to get to a point to start it. And we paid for, obviously, we've done a substantial amount for them in the past. They did get what Racket Club got last year was what was left.
Correct.
In order to meet basically meet the 10%. So-
Glenn, there's a minor typo, it's Mark Vanacore, not Manicofra. Just you have an F in there, just take the F.
Where?
Under the, contact, Jeannie Critchley, for the NRSA thing, it's Mark Vanacore. There's just an F in there,
Oh. What has to come out of that?
The F.
the F,
No F. It's not Vanicum Frame.
nope.
Okay, so take a look at these, and when you get your packets, start looking at them. Because what Glenn and I have told a lot of these guys, and Neville's told his people, prioritize. Which means if you can't get the whole thing, and some of these are not gonna get the whole thing, just because you don't have enough money. But they need to prioritize what has to go first, and if they can come back next year for the second half, the third half, the fourth half, most of the churches have done that. This is a big ask for St. Paul's, because you can't just do half a roof. So that's why they're in here. But we've done everything else on St. Paul's. We did the windows, the tower, which is great, which is looking great. We've done the addition, and we've done the handicap accessibility, and we've done a few other things on there. So the churches all know to parcel it out, and I know Mariah Mitchell parcels it out pretty effectively. And Landmark House has parceled this out. So most of them, and Housing Authority has. So most of these guys know to do that. But some of the larger asks, like Remain, Glenn and I both spoke to Remain and said, you guys gotta section this out, because they're not getting all the money that we have left. So
Yeah.
those are the types of things that happen around here. Historical associations being very judicious in what they're asking for, because they already know that. We've been with the Historical Association almost from the beginning. They know what to prioritize there. Town clerk's records, I'm surprised they have 9,500, because they have a lot of Civil War records in there. So that's pretty much the rundown. Anybody want to add anything else to this? Sort of an overview on this?
And I think this will be coming up later. My guess is who's assigned to what?
That is later.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
PPP project manager assignments.
Okay,
Yeah, and we
so
sort of have to
I'll
wait
for
till
that.
everybody's here to do that, because I don't want to cut the ones who are not here out, and I think they need to have their voices heard too. So I think we need to wait, because we have the ones that are running now, and we have the ones from last year, which don't have any project manager, except for those of us who are already like St. Paul's for me. So we really need everybody here to figure out who's gonna get what.
So the packets are more of which is already going on.
The packets that we received are for fiscal year 26.
Mhm.
So those have not, these are new projects. So you have to come in and get your packet, and then we're going to, the next item on the agenda is the calendar. We'll call each organization in for a interview with the CPC board and,
Okay.
make decisions from there, whether they're, the first round, you'll decide whether they're staying in
Or
or out, whether they're going to be funded. And then the second round will determine how much they will be funded.
Mhm.
And by that point, I should have the amount that we have available to us.
And that's actually deliberations, but we will meet with each individual organization that is on this list. So there's 13 in total. So we're going to need about 6 days from everybody's calendar to say, okay, this is the date that works best for me. And what we've typically done is the mornings from 9 to 12, because that'll give us 3 to 4 organizations to speak with in a day.
The ones we've heard multiple times, like the rental assistance, they get like 15 minutes or something. The larger projects are the ones we haven't seen for a while or never seen. They get at
30
least,
minutes.
yeah, get at least 30 minutes, because there's a lot of details that people just don't know about their organizations and stuff. What I'm gonna do, Glenn, is I'm gonna send these out again, which is the reports for FY 24 and 25, and so people can see what's still open. I mean, what's still out there that we got to assign from last year and this year, and then we'll figure that out.
That came in the last email, right? Those reports.
Last.
Yeah.
So I'll send those out again so everybody be fresh in their minds. And then there are some ongoing ones, which you saw on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are multiple year things that are still going. And then I have to track, Rick Neville and I have to track back to see what's happening. And did you put down the ones that belonged to Ken and Dawn and all the other ones that, and whoever, you know, Mark Beal, whatever, what they had, so those people can assume those? That's what we need, is that list,
Right.
is what
Well-
those guys had that left.
Yeah, I think just do another row.
Yeah, Mark really didn't have him here, because he was here for a short time.
Yeah.
And then Ken, he had started to pass off some of his projects, and he went from, Landmark or Land Bank to Parks and Rec.
Right, and that's where Eleanor had to
So-
pick up some of that stuff.
And then also on this list, the fiscal year 25, if you look on, you'll see it here. You see, and that's under, CPC Historical Resources. So it's right before community housing. You'll see FY 25. All of those are
Open?
no,
No.
all these projects are open. This whole list, everything
from-
on this
this
list
is
is
from
open. But
July
is
1 this
from
year.
July 1 this year. So they're already on here for people to say, okay, well, I'd like to have this project, or, you know, to just decide on what it is that they'd like to oversee.
And the ones that you see were Neville and my name's on there, and
Those
Tom
are-
did,
and
Tom has got it because,
That
that's
was,
just because Tom has it.
well,
Yeah.
Mariah Mitchell was Dawn's, and so Tom took that one.
All right, so we have a lot of open stuff to deal with here that are still ongoing, so take a
would
look at this, as well as the reports, and you can figure out what you want. Tim, you had some stuff, what did you have?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I had sent Glenn a note. The one project I have open and I'd like to continue on is the African Meeting House project.
Yeah.
I've been working on that for quite some time.
Yeah. Did I can't find it on-
It is, it's in AA8. Restore various, and it's on the second page, the third one down,
Oh, there it is, okay, so that's Tim,
and so that's 10,
It's got a balance of about 80,000,
yes.
yeah, and I know they got more stuff they wanna do up there.
right?
But I think the last thing we gave them, wasn't it hardscaping? And I don't think they completed the hardscape, or was this for the museum restoration of where the old garage barn was?
It's a compilation of a few things, I think, Linda. I'll give you a report back after I speak with them. They've been struggling a little bit.
Well, they don't have, do they have anybody here now? Neville, Tim, anybody?
Yeah, they
here
got,
now?
they have someone, and I think they have a whole new system now where they get a college student in,
But they're gonna go back.
and they're
right?
gonna go back.
So we need to identify who to,
Mhm.
for Tim to have a conversation with here.
Yeah.
Is there on
You're gonna have to
island
call,
person?
they have none, you have to call, Paul Pilot.
Yeah.
You gotta call him in Boston.
Glenna, can you help him get
Oh,
a contact person?
Yeah, that contact. it
No,
should-
I'm all set. Marcia Fader is still a contact person for the project.
Okay,
Right, but is she Museum of African American History? Is she, I know she's one of the contracted people,
it's
but
not the board
she's
though up
not
there.
listed on the point of contact. I don't know if she is or not, but
No, it's that woman in Boston.
yeah.
I've met her.
Well, she's the one that we've been dealing with for 6 or 8 years. I
Yeah,
don't know if, who she's working for. I don't know the answer to that yet.
Tim, I think you need to contact with that one, the person in Boston, because they're the ones that make the decisions up there.
I'll look at the application, Tim, and see who they have listed as their point of contact, because we do have to go by what is in the proposed grant.
She may be managing any historical restoration over there, but she's not the one who makes that decision as to what to do with the money. That's why you gotta talk to the woman in Boston, the head of the whole thing.
They had to reorganize, Tim.
Right, I know.
Yeah, they did a big reorganization and they're not using any contacts they have here on Nantucket anymore. Everything is being, all the decisions are being made up in Boston.
Which would be a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, they had to close in on everything.
Yeah. All right, so you and Glenna will work that one out. Anything else anybody has a comment on?
Nope.
Start thinking about it, guys. 'Cause we
so-
gotta assign things next month.
So these blank spots are basically things that are not appointed.
Right.
Yeah, the 24 and the 25 are not. appointed.
And then the ones with the names on the side are appointed.
Yeah, or these have been long-standing ongoing stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, we try to get everybody, and there's plenty here.
I
We
mean,
try to get everybody at least 3 that you're responsible for.
being that I'm Park and Rec and it's available, I think that Linda Loring might be something that I could take on.
Absolutely. But just sort of start looking at some of this stuff.
So Kitty Bachman called me, and I may have a conversation with her and then hand her over to you.
Okay.
So she said, I'll bring 'em up.
Cool.
For project.
Yeah,
Yeah, they still have money out there.
and I think the PFAS thing that came up may kind of accelerate their agenda.
Yeah,
So Linda, do we want to have it on the agenda for the next meeting?
yeah, and
So
we're gonna
that
have
we
to
can
do it.
start assigning these
Yes,
projects, and so
absolutely.
I'll make a note, Jesse, that you are interested in the Linda Loring project.
Quick question.
Yep,
What about the projects that aren't 24 and 25, but still aren't assigned, like some of the older ones that are on here?
well, the older ones, we have to go back and find out what's happening with those.
Mhm.
I mean, we've got a bunch of 2019, we got a couple of months, the ones that go back to 2010, I wouldn't worry about those. The 2010, I've been handling it, the public access is only $124, because I do that through the planning board office. Linda Loring's, whoever takes over Linda Loring will get the 21, FY 21, so there's some stuff that's back that's coming in again right now. So we'll, sustainable, whoever picks up sustainable is Neville. So there's some other sustainables in here. It should be the same person going all the way through. So we can talk about the old stuff here.
I was just curious.
Yeah, some of them like Host Card House, that is done. Everybody's confused. I gotta go back in that because everybody's confused about what happened to the host card. And Ken couldn't figure out, and the town couldn't figure out if the money was spent or not, because everybody.
The
seems to
host
think
card
that it-
house?
Yeah, everybody seems to think that it was zeroed out.
There were
But
two,
it's
there
still
were,
on here.
there were 2 host card houses.
Yeah, there was one in town and one out there.
So which
and I
one,
was-
what money does this go to? If
That's the
it's,
point. We
if
don't
this is the
know.
one, if this is the one by, oh gosh, what's that,
No, it's Gardner Street.
Gardner Street.
Gardner Street?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
what
that
we
was,
think.
that's already done.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, that was done. This is money that's left over.
But he still.
I thought
thinks
you
it-
had that.
He still, I did. He still thinks it's zeroed out.
No, well, you have to,
That's what we have to
you
dig
gotta get in
out,
touch with them and see if they wanna
Yeah.
give the money back.
if it's still
No.
there. Now,
So-
Brian seems to think it's not there, so that's why there's a problem.
Oh, you mean there's $23,000 you're talking about?
Yeah, he still thinks it's zeroed out, so that's why I have to go back in and sit down on some of these old ones to find out
Really?
where it is, because we got a lot of money back in the day from some of these extras. But he doesn't have it there, so that's why we have to figure out what happened here. That's
Yeah.
one of the ones, there's only a couple of those left that are weird. I know we can get the Hadwin House back. Some of these older ones, we'll get them back, because they just don't need it. Now, the Old North Vestry. Brooke is working through that, so I know that's working through. That's the Congo Church.
The other one was, Academy Hill.
Yeah,
This, I
that was a
know,
mess.
I know that is done. And I know Hal Keem took on another project,
Yeah,
but I don't know who put who put the proposal through. But they need to get to the person who put that proposal through, try to get that $12,000 back, because they're all done there.
yeah.
They've been done.
Glenn and I will go through.
Yeah, there's a
these
lot of stuff like that.
and figure out,
Yeah.
there's $500 left, really.
Mm. Well, yeah, yeah,
Money,
You know.
money.
Money's money, we're
Yeah.
gonna get it back.
yeah,
That's the point. NPT,
Yeah.
I'll have to find out if she's finished with those. Mariah Mitchell Observatory, that's a huge amount of money up at Mariah Mitchell Observatory. We gotta find out from Jason when she comes in, what's happening here. Cause I don't believe they've drawn on any of that.
Where does Mariah Mitchell sit under? Is it
on the second page.
First page, CPC Historical Resources.
Historical Resources.
See it?
2021.
okay.
Oh, okay, and it's also on the
Yeah.
second page. There are two places for them.
And we gotta circle back with whoever's at the Athenaeum.
You see it?
Glenn and I will go through these one at a
So
time.
they have
Because the
121.
Athenaeum person, she retired, so I'm not
But
sure.
it's Pam line back now.
Yeah, and we gotta tell her, you got this money, Pam, because they've been sending them down to Connecticut. There's a place down near New Haven that's been redoing all their paintings. And she may not realize that she
Oh,
still
no.
has that money left because the previous person had been there forever and she retired. And I'm not sure some of this information on new staffing on some of these places are
Carrick's there.
aware that they have it. So especially the 121,000 for Jason. I mean, what's going on here? That was
Excuse
for
me,
the copper roof, that was for all kinds
Yeah,
of stuff
they've done
over
a lot of
there.
work.
you were just talking about Mariah Mitchell Observatory,
Yeah,
correct? From fiscal year 21,
yeah,
all right, for 121,000.
Then there's 167.
And then we have now they come in again, this is Tom Dixon, who has this project, am I correct?
yeah, but he's not aware that there's 2021 and Jason needs to know that. Jason
Yeah.
should know that. She's the one who put the request in.
Yeah, but whoever put the request in,
So that's what I'm saying. We're gonna.
they have to get
Glenn
together.
and I will track back on some of these things to try to get them into a warrant article to get money back.
Yeah.
But some of these larger ones, I think some of them are because they've changed staff. and
Yeah.
They don't know it's there. The
Yeah.
person who did it knew.
Yeah,
So we'll go through all of these open
yeah,
ones.
the only thing that bothers me is what you said earlier, that Brian's figures and our figures are different. Some
Well,
of
that
these.
one was the one that's been annoying us for some time now. So
Hmm.
we'll figure it out.
I know years ago, I don't know, because I don't know if it's two different things. Years ago, when finance department was across the street from the town building, we found out that all the interest, all the money comes in, it goes into whatever the account goes into. And all the interest was being put into the, what they call it, the black hole or whatever it is of the town. The interest from our projects were put into there. So we had to do some heavy investigation to find out that the town, they didn't know what to do with the money, and that's what they were doing with it. So they stopped it.
They stopped.
They stopped
The
doing it.
last 2 years,
because,
we've had the interest in
yeah,
our
Yeah,
account.
many years ago.
Yeah.
More than 2 years. But so they stopped it. So I was wondering if something like that can happen, if there can be some kind of disparity because between their figures and our figures because of the two different types of accounting, like we do it one way and they do it another way. You know, and that is troubling. I'd be not.
And you have the town assessor's records at
Mm.
121,000.
Yeah. Okay,
I have to track back on that.
all right.
He doesn't realize that he has money,
What was that?
Rob. If it's town assessor's records, we need to pull that one out. Because he wants to do that, because I work with a microfilm down there all the time, it's beginning to split and break. And it goes all the way back to 1800s. And so I'm in there working with those things all the time, and we gotta get them digitized. But I wanna pull that one out, pull that record, pull that application out, so I can tell him what's happening. Cause I don't think he understands that.
And Linda?
Yeah.
One of the things that we do, when we start the interview process and after deliberations and all of that is we'll look at the old projects, that have been 10 years or more, or, even 5 years or more, and just see if there's a balance. And we'll reach out to them via email and letter and ask them if they're finished with that project, if it's completed, or if they're going to use those funds or continue using those funds or reappropriate it. And if they're not, they have to send us a letter returning those funds back to the CPC and for the particular, category, whether it's historical, preservation, affordable housing, or open space and recreation. So that is something that we do every single year when we go through this list, because these are all the open projects right now. So we'll go through this list and we'll look at those old projects and see what is old or what has a small balance, because most times if it's a small balance, they just don't realize that it's there, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm done with the project, it's completed, and so you can return it back to the CPC, but we do need to have a letter stating something.
Is that the project manager's responsibility to?
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
But I also
we're-
feel like anything over 3 years, we
Mhm.
should be like, can you give it back? Cause I mean, I'm looking at 2019, 11s. and-
Yeah, we're gonna go, we're gonna have.
Yeah,
to track
that's what
back.
I do. I look at my
Yeah.
projects, I look at the old project, whether the amount is large or small. I go in and I ask them, are you gonna use it? Are you finished using it? Do you still wanna use it? What have you?
Yeah,
And
and I've
that's
got,
how I got some money back.
Especially
and
when
I'm
they're
not-
doing
I'm not
changeover,
done
if
yet.
we have a changeover, I'm like, let's
I'm
just
not
keep it
done.
clean.
Yeah, because Landmark House, I'm not sure, because they changed. And so I'm not sure the person that's doing the Landmark House now, who's really new, understood that they have 44 grand still sitting there and 12 grand still sitting there. And I know they reapplied this year, but
Right.
they still have 2 projects that they were working on. If they're not gonna, if they came in under budget on those windows on the 44 grand, we're getting that back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to,
I'll send out an email.
email to the
Once we
people
get to
that,
that point.
that have a lot of these have had staff changes, which has just thrown this thing into chaos.
Right. And that's where I'm like, keep it clean,
Yeah.
let's move, start
Yeah,
a fresh.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's very important. I know one of my projects, I have a meeting coming up with them and, they have a lot of money.
which one is that one?
That's on NISDA.
I was
And,
gonna say, it's gotta
they have
be
a lot
this
of
stuff.
different money. They say, well, we don't want to give any money back, but I'm gonna go and see them and see what they have. You finished with this project, what are you gonna do with the rest of it?
Well, the thing
It's
is
not
with
their
that
money,
is
I
that-
mean, they should be giving
No.
it back, I hate to say
well,
that.
that
No,
Kathy didn't
but-
wanna give any money.
I
back.
know,
Now
but
we got a
that's
new
what-
Director.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm trying to make, is like,
Yeah.
that's how you get to the point of, if they're not gonna give it back, what are they gonna use it for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you get to the point of like,
Yeah.
can we take it and reappropriate it to this? And, but, that's the point you're trying to get to,
Yeah.
because
Just-
people
I
will
feel
just
like they're
say,
holding us hostage.
exactly.
Well, there've
You know,
been 2 in here at
just-
least.
Yeah,
and,
2 or 3 of them in there.
You got 2 cents left in the other.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, all of that stuff.
That's
Yeah,
just-
so-
But the other thing
Even that.
is when the money does come back for you newbies, when the money does come back, it has to go back into designated reserves. So if we get NISDA back, then it goes into historic.
Absolutely.
And we
Yeah.
keep piling up, because last year we used a lot of money out of one of them
Mhm.
to make up the difference. And I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to do that, but that's not for this year. Because we don't get that money back to allocate until after July 1 next year. But at least we know that we have money back in those particular sections. We've always had a lot of money back in historic preservation until people started coming in right and left.
So, sorry to ask this, is there for open space, or any other of the, subjects? Is there a balance is that carrying over on the spreadsheet for what
So-
is in the
I don't
reserve?
think we have anything left in the
So-
reserve, do we?
For,
So,
That I have to get.
for which one?
open space,
No, none
So,
of the
so
money here
Nantucket
is
Lighthouse
reserved.
School is new.
yeah,
That's new, so they have no money, and then you see there's nothing in that second column. Cause they've never received
right,
anything.
got it,
So for, Nantucket Racket Sports Association, it shows what they've received in fiscal 21,
Yeah,
23, and 25. And then if you go to this list, they're listed on here, and it'll show you what their balance is.
Right. You're not gonna see that on the spreadsheet. All you're gonna see is past allocations to
What
them on
they
the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
This is what they
Yeah.
have left from that particular FY, and that's why Glenna puts down all the FYs on your new spreadsheet.
I guess my question is on open
No.
space,
There is no reserves on any of these lists. at the
on
moment.
any of them,
No,
okay,
so we have to go back and find out, and from what I remember from last year, we don't have any reserves to speak of in any of the 3 categories. Because we allocated everything. What we do have is what, Glenna, 500 grand left in undesignated reserves?
I think so.
I'll have to
I'm not
find that
sure.
out, because that's another category, where Ken did this many, many years ago, when Neville and I were first on, that we needed to save money in case the town opted out, and we still have money to give away every year. So we always have a very healthy balance in undesignated reserves. If we're $10,000 short kind of thing of funding, last year we funded everybody except for the racket club fully. Then we can take 10 grand out of there, you know what I'm saying? We have that there, sitting there in case there's a problem.
It's your insurance.
If I could just, also add to, platform tennis or Nantucket Racket Sports Association. If you look under open space on this, the list of projects that are open,
Yeah,
and the fourth one down, you see where they have $19,774.82.
mhm.
And then if you go down a little ways more.
Where are
you
you,
see-
Glenna?
Racket
Oh, okay,
sports.
open space, I got it.
And so
Three.
they have $681,823.40 left in that. And then racket sports again, the second one from the bottom under that same category, they have $356,507.59, which shows that they have been spending the money down, but they still have those open accounts.
I'm questioning whether they still have, oh, they didn't do them yet. They needed more money. The 2023 ones, they needed a stockpile, which is why they're back again this year. So they can get enough money to actually you can't do half a court, and you can't just do 2 courts out of 4. So that's why they're putting money together, because it's like a $3 million thing.
And they were having some issues with the neighbors, so.
Yeah, so they're working all that stuff out.
So Jesse, the spreadsheet shows what they've received for each fiscal year.
Yeah, what their asks were, not what they,
Yeah.
and that's what they got.
That's what they actually
Yeah.
received.
Yeah,
And
because they
then,
always ask for more money than that.
yeah, I think there's one that's missing. And then this will show you,
Their
what their
balance.
open balance is.
And that's why when you're the project manager, doing it face to face and having them come, have you sign them is so critical, because you can have a running thing with what they got, what they've spent, what they're asking for, and what their balance is down here. So that, this is a mess, but Glenn and I work through it. Because they haven't spent money, and I need to know if this is coming out of what this is coming out of. Is it coming out of the bonds, or is this coming out of something else?
Who's that for?
The housing trust?
Well, I haven't received that in the office.
Yeah, this is what you emailed me.
Oh, they
Yeah.
just sent that in.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
because
they just
there's
sent
a,
that.
2020, 2017, 2 2017s, and we're trying to figure out what?
Well, it should be listed on there at the bottom, which fiscal year they're pulling it from.
Yeah, and which is,
And if they haven't listed it, then it really should.
then you go back here to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which I'm looking for on these lists. That's the over here. Yeah, there's the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. They have all that money, but they've already spent the money.
And they're supposed to.
But they
submit to
never
us
gave us
project
these.
Status reports, so that we can have an accounting of it.
So that's what these are.
Housekeeping.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, so now we have Christie, and Christie's all over this. So I think Christie, oh, John, we can see you now.
He's muted.
Can't hear you, but we can see you.
Easier it is.
So that's the story with that. Habitat is using their money. They're just,
Yeah,
I've got to figure out what project they're doing with this stuff.
they're doing weight drive.
Yeah. So, oh, we had them in here
Mhm.
several months ago. Yeah, okay. So any other questions for the moment on this stuff? Hope it's a little less muddy.
So interesting.
It's very important to read through all the proposals that we have.
Yeah.
And any questions that you may have, because we are gonna meet with the people. So you may have some questions for them. Just be very clear on what you want to know about them.
They do a
Even if
really
it-
good job, Justin.
And we
Yeah.
do ask a
They're
lot of
really cool.
questions,
They kinda
guys.
Yeah.
keep the history of it.
Yeah.
Really cool.
We do ask a lot of questions. This isn't like
Yeah.
come in, make a presentation, leave.
No.
We
yes,
ask a
no.
lot of questions.
Yes, a lot of
Some things
questions.
we don't pay for. We don't pay for the contingency.
Yeah.
We don't pay for, there's another thing,
Salaries.
salaries. There are other things we pay hard costs. We don't pay for a lot of fluff. Now, in the case of the interfaith, the rental assistance, we do pay for salaries because they were coming to us, you know, what, they were 2021 or something, when we, April. They came to us for a long time, sitting at Georgia Snell's table. No control, no accountability, no nothing. So we said, well, we can't give you any more money when there's no protocol, there's no who gets it, what's the program, how do you track it, all this stuff. Here we're just handing out money from the table. As great as it was. And we said, no more money until you actually have an office, you have staff, and you verify that these are legal units that you're paying the rental assistance for. And I would help, when Janice was hired, we paid for the salary, because you can't run that program unless we pay for the salary. We forced them to get a salary person. So that's why a lot of this money, you'll see a line item for salaries for that position, because you can't do it without it.
It's not listed as salary, because
Yeah.
I think technically we're not.
Yeah, it's operating expenses.
It's operating expenses.
Yeah. But we forced them into getting a break,
That's
get a
Neville's-
grip,
That's
people.
Neville's,
Yeah.
project, so.
Yeah, that's what we paid for. Exactly.
And she comes in, and I used to help her when she first started out. I would help her when I was in the building department, look up whether these are legal units. Because people were coming in from basements with a pallet. They were coming in with all, you know, people were sticking in people all over the place, and we don't pay for summer. We pay for year-round housing, and we work, and Janice works with the landlords, directly with the landlords, to ensure that people are still in their units. And we had an issue at the very beginning because it wasn't creating affordable units, but it was affording people to stay in their units. So there was a slight shift in how we were looking at these units, because they're not all income restricted and all the rest of this stuff. And then we found out that some people were getting money that are in the housing authority, which is already restricted income units, and we're going, the hell is that?
Yeah.
So we had to rein all this stuff in, and
Hard to keep
Janice
track of.
runs a very tight ship,
That's why we have to-
very tight ship.
Money well spent.
So that's why we've been really giving them money every year, because we know how well done this is, and we know that it's supporting people to stay in their units. If they have cancer, or if they lose their job, or there are a lot of different qualifications, and they're allowed to get up to a certain amount, which they've increased because the rents have increased. And you're allowed to come back like 3 times, and so they work with the applicants, and they do work with them. So it's been a very effective program, and they ran out of money every year by March. So, you know, and they were held afloat by us and by Sustainable, or the Community Foundation. I think it was Community Foundation, during COVID, because everybody was in trouble during COVID, and they were running out of money like mad. So they gave them several grants. Then they got another grant from the state to keep going during COVID. So it's a great program. Neville knows, he deals with them all the time.
Yeah, thank you.
So, any other questions from anybody? Be prepared for Glenna to send out a thing on calendars.
Well, that's what I have here. I printed it out. I
Yeah.
didn't know that we're gonna have so many folks.
Online,
Well,
just
today-
email it out.
So.
You know how to do a Google calendar thing? You do.
Did I take my calendar?
If you could do
As
it, it'd be
opposed to
great.
that thing, you can do a Google calendar thing, and give them dates.
Well, what normally happens is, we just send out the October and November calendar as a blank
Okay.
slate, and then everybody will email me and let me know which dates work best for them. And then we'll go with majority dates or majority people on a particular day, well, really all. We have to find 6 days where everyone can be in person.
Well, they can be online also.
But I thought
can't,
that
no, we can,
with
hybrids,
the applications, with
hybrids.
the interview,
Mostly we need to be in the room, but if somebody like John is in Vermont or Tim is in Las Vegas, they have a right to be on by Zoom. That's what we have to do hybrid. Because as you know, before, some of the people doing the presentations, which we'd like to have, had to do it from up there for whatever reason. So I don't want to tell somebody they can't participate. So it's gotta be hybrid. But the charge going out to the board members is you really need to make an attempt to be in.
it was always, prior to COVID, it was always for
We
for
try.
the interview sessions, we always met in person.
Well, we didn't have Zoom then.
Right.
Zoom
Well,
is
yeah,
a-
we
is
didn't
a-
have Zoom, that's
Yeah,
what I said.
so like I'm saying, so we
Prior
have
to
to do it hybrid, because Tim's got COVID. And I don't wanna tell him he
Well,
can't be at
right,
the
well,
meeting.
no, I understand that if somebody is
Yeah.
sick, but,
So just keep that in mind, that with the charge to the board members is to be in the room. And the charge to the applicants is to try to be in
Oh,
there. They can have a board member up there like
Okay,
somebody else, you know,
Right.
can't get here.
but they do need to have. at
They
least
should
one
have somebody in the
representative
room.
here.
But if you can't be in the room, then that's fine. So we're gonna post them as hybrid, so we don't X anybody out. But everybody, all of us should be in the room. That makes sense? Okay. So she'll send out the calendar. Take a look at it. I know I'm away the first week of October from the sixth through the 12th. And I already got people screaming at me.
So-
We have to sign in. I said, I'm gonna be in the middle of the White Mountains.
I have a
Watching.
12 o'clock meeting, so I kinda
Okay.
gotta go.
Well, this was a
All
great
right.
meeting, guys.
Yeah,
So-
thank you.
Thank you. I have an 11:30
Any other commissioner comments before we go?
No.
Okay, so
Motion to adjourn.
to adjourn at,
Can I
yeah,
just-
go ahead.
In the future, if you're going to be remote, can you please just let me know?
Yeah.
Cause I had a lot of printouts here, ready for everyone,
What is it?
and so, yeah, it's just.
Yeah, it's good because Glenna needs to know if we've got forms and all kinds of stuff here, especially as we're.
Well,
having, you know,
I'm sorry, but I woke up sick and I didn't want to infect anybody, so this was not anticipated.
Yeah, email is fine.
Yeah.
Cause I check it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, just so that I know. What we're doing moving forward.
All right, I hope you and, Eleanor, you and Tim feel better.
Oh, I'm on the mend. Thank you.
And, everybody going to town meeting tonight, yay.
That'll be fun.
So somebody want to make a motion to adjourn at 11:19?
It was made. I'll second it.
Okay, Tim and Eleanor seconded. All those in favor, Tim?
Aye.
Eleanor?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Neville?
Aye.
Jesse?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Myself? Thank you, Glenna. Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody.
Yeah. Hey, Glenna. Glenna,
Yes.
if you would give Linda the paperwork that you printed for me today, she can drop it off with the books.
Yeah, I'll drop it off with that stuff.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So-
Anybody else need the printouts? Okay.
All the best, everybody.
Thank you.